Hi, I'm Maurice Jackson. I'm alongside Morgan Poliquin, the president of Almaden Minerals, and we're here live at the Stansberry Conference here in Vancouver, British Columbia. Morgan, pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
Morgan, you're one of the featured speakers here today. Would you mind sharing the project generator model first for those that are looking to become investors in the natural resource space?
Well, thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, I think it's flattering to think of it as a model. We think it was born of necessity, which means that my father came up with the idea, compelled to do so. He still says 1974 is a worse market than this one, and that's when he took his first company public, an exploration company, and he needed to find a joint venture partner to advance the project. So that's why I mean born of necessity, and we found it an effective way to keep our using other people's money. Most companies aren't made up of prospectors, people with a lot of technical abilities in prospecting in particular. Most companies are very effective at marketing and raising money for the development of projects. So that's the niche that we have, is we are oriented towards prospecting, and you know, Rick Rule talks about 1 in 5,000 projects becoming a mine. I'd like to think our odds are a little bit better than that, but that's why I'm a prospector, obviously.
Right.
So ultimately what it renders down to is, in Canadian parlance, we like to put more pucks on net. We want to get more chances, more irons in the fire, whatever other metaphor you like, and so we do that by getting partnerships, meaning we find something that's at a stage where somebody would like to take a shot at it, and that gets us out prospecting for the next thing, because we believe there's always something over the next hill.
And just full disclosure, I am a shareholder, and one of the things that I liked about Almaden is that the shares, would you talk about the share dissolution that doesn't occur when you're with the model that you have?
Yeah, if you're able to develop yourself prospects that are worthy of other people investing in them, then you are limiting the necessity to raise money to advance those projects. So prospecting is an intellectual capital endeavor. It's not capital intensive in terms of money. So to go out and come up with an idea and stake a claim isn't far less capital than drilling it. So that's kind of the way we approach it, is that we leverage our, what we think of as intellectual capital towards creating the project in the first place, and then getting somebody else to come in, which is what a lot of companies focus on. If you listen to most juniors that are looking for projects, they inevitably will say that they're looking for an advanced property, which tells you they're not out there looking for brand new things. So that's our place in the food chain. Everyone has their place, and that's our place.
And the other aspect I like about it as well is, how about the royalties that are associated with this?
Well, that's right. You're, as somebody put it, you're auto-generating royalties, which, from our perspective, many times when you enter into an option and then a joint venture agreement with somebody, they might wind up getting 100% of the property from you if you agree to sell it to them. That's often the case we've found, and we always retain a royalty. So we have a portfolio of 22 royalties, I believe, that has come out of that prospecting process and selling projects.
Okay. Now, for someone who's interested in investing in natural resources, why Almaden?
Well, we believe that we have shown the ability to continually be creative in terms of areas to go and look that are new and underexplored. And we're also, I think, innovative. We have our own drills. So we've found that often eliminating where there isn't a chance is more important than making the discovery, because it allows you to hone in on ultimately making that discovery quicker. So knowing where it's not is important, and we think that early stage drilling ourselves is a way to do that very cost effectively. We can drill a hole for a minimal amount of money by owning our own drills. So that's the kind of innovation that we've tried to deal with tough markets by bringing into the fold, and I would like to think that we certainly have demonstrated we found 2 deposits in a new belt that wasn't known before in Mexico, and have a lot of ideas in that belt and are the first mover. So I think those 2 things, our ability to continue to advance things in tough times, and just our proven track record of finding new things.
Good. How about your flagship project there? You have the Ixtaca? Is that the...
Ixtaca, yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's a unique way of spelling it. for the pronunciation. But yes, share that with us.
Yeah, that was kind of proof of concept for us. It's the second deposit we found in this new area I've been describing in eastern Mexico, and it came from our regional focus. We felt that under clay-altered hills there was the possibility of gold and silver deposits, so we looked at all the clay alteration and clay mines around, and that's an established geological model that the clay is associated with hot fluids that at depth maybe deposit metals. So when we found this particular project and staked it, we thought that potential existed. We had 3 partners there that didn't drill that target until ultimately we put a hole in, which was, as I say, a condemnation hole. We wanted to prove the concept or not so we could move on. And we got lucky, I'll admit, but we hit 300 meters of 2 grams or so in the first hole. And so very rapidly that developed into, depending on the price here, because they're changing, about 3.5 million ounces of gold equivalent. It's half gold, half silver. And it's an exciting deposit. As a high-grade core, we think there's a chance that the high-grade core will drive things, good economics, even in this very difficult price environment for the metals. So we think we have a nice deposit there, and so that's why we've kind of put all our project generation, our early stage properties, royalties, and all the intellectual capital are going into a new company, which will get back to our knitting, which is prospecting for the next one. While in Almaden, we remain focused on developing this project further.
Okay, and speaking of new companies, how about Almadex?
Yeah, that's going to be the new prospecting endeavor, and we're pretty excited, like I say, about getting back to our knitting. And it's the ideas that result in these projects ultimately. So the gestation of ideas, we've got 20 years essentially of prospecting in eastern Mexico. I did some graduate work on it, and we really feel that we know more than anyone about the prospectivity of eastern Mexico. And so what we'd like to do is bring that home for shareholders, that investment, and we've got 2 discoveries, and we think there's more to make.
Absolutely. And there's a royalty assigned with that as well?
It's a luxury of a prospect generator because you stake claims yourself and you don't option them from other people, you can give yourselves a royalty, and that's in a case like this. So that's effectively what we did. The shareholders are the beneficiaries. We've given them a royalty on this project, and it's a way. We all know that we're not a production team, and at some point, we expect whether we build it ourselves or an external production team will, we think, come in and logically move the project forward. So it's a way for shareholders to retain the upside in the property.
Okay. Now, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way to contact you?
My phone number is 604-689-7644. Happy to receive calls if people have questions about the company, and or email is info@almadenminerals.com. Gets right through to me, and happy to entertain any and all concerns, questions.
All right. Well, Morgan, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, sir.
All the best.